Welcome, viewers. Thanks for joining us. I'm Michelle Froese, editor of Energy Storage Networks, and today we are discussing energy storage system management and software. Joining us, our guest is Andrew Krulewitz, Director of Marketing and Strategy at Geli, or Growing Energy Labs. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for joining us here in our office in San Francisco.
It's a beautiful Bay Area. So first, let me congratulate you on, I believe Geli had made once again for the second year in a row, the top 100 Cleantech global list. Is that correct?
That is correct. Though we are but a small startup here in San Francisco, our software is considered by many to be one of the leading platforms for the design and operation of energy storage, and we are very fortunate to be considered in the top 100 again.
That's excellent, fantastic, and congratulations. So first, why don't you tell us a little bit about Geli and how you got your start, as well as I believe you're defined as the first end-to-end storage provider. What does that mean exactly?
Absolutely, and you alluded to it in your intro, but Geli is actually an acronym for Growing Energy Labs Incorporated, and our co-founders had a vision that we could build energy systems that mimicked those in nature. And of course, nature's energy systems are plants. A tree only has so many leaves, which are effectively solar panels, as it needs, and its trunk and its roots are the storage, and they only grow as large as it needs to store the energy generated by the leaves. And how does software come into this? Well, something needs to tell the energy systems that we build, which are comprised of solar panels and batteries and power electronics, how large they need to be for maximum economic benefit, and how to operate once they're in the field. And so our products really align with this core thesis of a growing energy system. We have software that helps developers and customers determine what the best size system is for their building. We have automation solutions that manage power from solar, and they decide to send it to the batteries or to the grid for maximum economic benefit. And finally, we have a management solution so that we can understand how these systems are performing over time and whether it's worth increasing the size of a system or participating in a wider environment such as a grid service.
So who are your main clients? Are you targeting utilities, renewable energy developers, and what is the benefit for them?
So Geli works with two primary constituents, the first being renewable energy developers. So there are more than 3,000 independent solar PV developers here in the US and many, many more globally. And a lot of those companies are looking to deploy intelligent energy storage solutions, but they don't necessarily know where to go to find the best fit solutions for their customers. And so with our software, we help them understand what the value proposition is to their customer, and then we work with our other constituent who I mentioned, which are system providers, the folks who actually make the batteries and put them in containers and ship them to the customer site. We help the developers understand which of those system suppliers is best suited to their client, and then through our software they can come together, deploy a system, and then of course we operate it using our automation platform.
Thanks, Andrew. So what are the challenges, if any, in terms of integrating software into an energy storage system?
Absolutely. So if you think about the components of an energy storage system, the battery is really at the heart of it. And most people think, oh, a battery is a battery. I mean, you have different types, lithium ion, flow, lead acid, what have you. And they just assume that a battery can do all kinds of things. But what most people quickly discover is that a battery can't do much of anything on its own. It's like I said, the heart, but without the brain to tell it what to do. And so there are challenges in integrating our solution with different types of technologies, but to date we've integrated with a number of major OEMs, names like LG and Samsung, and we've got products out in the field operating. And once you have understood how these systems operate and the different parameters that you need to build in, then it becomes much easier to do what the really hard stuff is, which are the applications. You know, how do you accurately predict what a building load will be, and how do you reduce that load? Or how do you respond to a demand response signal like we do at a project with BMW and Mountain View? And so once you can figure out how to turn the system on and off reliably and safely, then the real work comes in application development to deliver real value from those batteries.
And you're currently working with BMW on a study, is that correct?
Yes, Geli has worked with BMW for the past 2 years, and it's no longer a study. The study's released and the results are in. And so BMW wanted to lower the cost of ownership of their electric vehicles to their owners, and so they came up with a program that let the owners bid their cars into PG&E's demand response market. But a condition of participating in that market is you must guarantee a certain capacity to be delivered whenever there is a demand response event. One problem of doing that with vehicles is they move around and they're not necessarily always available to participate. And so they asked Geli to integrate a lot of second life EV batteries that were from older test cars and to provide firm, reliable energy to make sure that BMW met its program commitments to PG&E and lowering the cost of ownership to their car owners. And after 2 years of service in the field, the system responded to more than 200 events. We had greater than 99% availability and 97.8% accuracy in our response. And so generally it was considered a great success.
Impressive, yeah. Those are good news. So what about cybersecurity in terms of software? We hear of threats to the grid in terms of security and even to wind and solar projects. Is that a concern at all for Geli?
Absolutely. Cybersecurity is something that we take very seriously here at Geli, as do many other providers of intelligent, distributed energy resources, which storage absolutely is. And the way that we architected our solution from the beginning is to have local on-site control via a small computer or site controller. And in the event of a communications loss, such as the internet going down or cellular communications going down or loss of grid power, we're able to operate our systems in island or standalone mode where they have self-awareness and can continue to serve their customer on site in the event of any sort of grid catastrophe. That also being said, when we do interact with utilities here in the US and around the world, there are a number of standards that they mandate their vendors to implement, and so there are a number of ways in which we have to already built in certain cybersecurity protocols into our software.
Makes sense. Good to hear, Andrew. So if someone wants to learn more about Geli, where can they go?
Well, the best place to get started is on our website, and we have a lot of resources for folks interested in learning about the value proposition of energy storage and solar plus storage. And if some of your viewers have customers, particularly commercial customers, who are saying, hey, I'm ready to go storage, we've got a tool. It's called Geli eSyst. It is free. Folks can sign up, upload their customers' energy data, and they can design a system in a few minutes right from our website.
Fantastic. Thank you. Appreciate your time, Andrew. Thank you so much for the great insight. This is Michelle Froese from Energy Storage Networks signing off. Thank you.